ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about a woman. She wasn't born into privilege. She wasn't handed opportunity. She faced life with every odd stacked against her. Yet, when the world told her to shrink, she stood taller. When challenges tried to crush her, she pressed forward. Why? Because she believed in herself. Her belief wasn't arrogance, it was survival. It was the light that guided her when the world went dark. Belief in yourself is not just a feeling, it's a decision. It's the refusal to let challenges have the final say. Acknowledge the reality of challenges. Let's get real. Life doesn't come with a smooth road. There are bumps, potholes, and detours. Challenges aren't a punishment, they're a part of the journey. But here's the truth, the size of the challenge doesn't matter as much as the size of your belief. You can't control the storms that come your way, but you can control how you anchor yourself in the middle of them. The source of inner strength. True belief is rooted in something deeper than circumstances. It's faith in a purpose greater than the pain. It's loving yourself enough to fight for the life you deserve. It's knowing that every scar tells a story of survival. A woman who believes in herself doesn't ignore her struggles. She acknowledges them, feels them, and then chooses to rise above them. The role of fear and doubt. Don't think for a second that she never felt fear. Fear showed up. Doubt whispered in her ear, "You're not enough," but she didn't let those voices stay. She spoke back with courage. She let her belief in what was possible drown out her fear of what might go wrong. Fear may be loud, but belief is stronger. The impact of self-belief on others. When a woman believes in herself, something powerful happens. She inspires. Her strength lifts others. Her courage ignites a fire in those who watch her. The world changes when women stand in their power, refusing to let challenges define their story. Overcoming adversity with grit and grace. The road wasn't easy. It required grit, resilience, and a whole lot of grace. She didn't just survive her challenges, she used them to refine her. Challenges didn't break her, they built her. And when she felt weak, she remembered that strength isn't the absence of struggle, it's showing up anyway. Practical steps to cultivate self-belief. If you want to be that woman, start with small steps. Speak life over yourself. Set boundaries that protect your peace. Surround yourself with people who see your worth even when you forget it. Write your own story. Don't let life write it for you. And most importantly, practice believing every single day. Inclusion, embracing your own power. So what about you? Will you let challenges have the last word, or will you rise above them? Will you let fear keep you small, or will you step into the greatness you were created for? You have everything you need within you to overcome. Believe in yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. You are stronger than you think, braver than you know, and more capable than you've ever imagined. Let me tell you about a woman. She wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth or a red carpet rolled out at her feet. She didn't come from a family of privilege, and she didn't have doors automatically opening for her. She walked through life with odds stacked high against her. Her childhood was filled with struggles, with challenges that seemed too heavy to carry, too many to count. Yet despite it all, there was one thing no one could take from her. One thing that even the hardest times couldn't break: her belief in herself. It wasn't always easy. In fact, there were times when the weight of the world seemed unbearable, and it would have been so much easier to give up. There were moments when she questioned everything: her choices, her path, even her worth. And still she chose to believe. She believed in herself when the world told her it wasn't possible. She believed in herself when failure stared her in the face and tried to convince her to quit. You see, belief isn't just some abstract idea. It's not about waiting for everything to align perfectly or for the right circumstances to fall into place. Belief is a decision. It's a choice to keep moving forward even when the road ahead seems unclear. It's the quiet resolve to rise every time you fall. And for this woman, belief wasn't just a feeling, it was her armor, it was her fuel. It was the one thing that kept her from sinking into the darkness. When you believe in yourself, something incredible happens. Your perspective shifts. The obstacles that seem like mountains suddenly start looking like hills. The fear, the doubt, the negativity, they don't disappear, that they no longer control you. They may knock on your door, but belief in who you are and what you're capable of becomes the key to turning them away. She found strength not because she never felt pain, but because she chose to believe that her story was far from over. Belief isn't about denying the challenges, it's about facing them head on with the certainty that you're stronger than anything that tries to hold you back. This woman, despite all the setbacks, chose to let her belief in herself be the thing that defined her. Not her circumstances, not her failures, not the voices that told her it couldn't be done. She understood that belief isn't the absence of challenges, it's the courage to continue in spite of them. She knew that when you believe in yourself, you unlock a power greater than anything that could ever stand in your way. Let's talk about challenges. We all face them, don't we? They show up in the most unexpected ways. One minute, everything feels fine, and the next, life throws something at you that feels like it could knock the wind out of your lungs. Sometimes it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You're dealing with setbacks, disappointments, and hurdles that seem insurmountable. And in those moments, it's easy to feel like you're all alone. But here's the truth: challenges are not the exception, they're the rule. Life isn't meant to be a straight, smooth path. We don't get to choose when we face difficulty, and we certainly don't get to pick how hard it will be. The storms will come, the setbacks will happen, the heartbreaks will arrive. And in those moments, it might seem like the end of the world. It might seem like the end of the world. It might seem like there's no way out, no way through. But here's the key: your challenges aren't here to defeat you. They're here to refine you. They're the proving ground for your strength, your resilience, and your capacity for greatness. We often hear people say things like everything happens for a reason, or what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And while those words might sound cliche at times, there's truth in them. It's not the easy moments that shape us. It's not the times when everything falls into place that make us strong. It's the struggle, it's the fight, it's the moments when we feel like giving up but choose not to. The reality is that life is a series of challenges, but it's also a series of opportunities to rise above them. Every obstacle is an invitation for growth. Every setback is a chance to learn something new about yourself. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it feels unfair sometimes, but your response to the challenge is what truly matters. You don't get to control the hand you're dealt, but you do get to decide how you play it. Will you let the challenge break you, or will you let it be the thing that pushes you into a new level of strength? Will you let the hardship define you, or will you choose to let it refine you? The reality is, challenges will always be a part of your story, but they don't get to write your ending. You do. So when they come, and they will remember this: it's not the challenge itself that matters most. It's how you respond, how you rise, and how you keep believing in yourself when everything else seems uncertain. Because the truth is, the greater the challenge, the greater the opportunity to discover just how powerful you really are. Inner strength doesn't come from a place of comfort. It's not something that's simply handed to us when everything is going well. No, inner strength is forged in the fires of adversity. It's built in the moments when we're pushed to our limits and forced to dig deeper than we ever thought possible. The source of that strength isn't something outside of us. It's found within, deep in the very core of who we are. It's rooted in something far more powerful than just willpower or determination. It's rooted in a belief that you are capable, that you are enough, and that there is a purpose for your life far greater than any setback or obstacle you may face. When the world tells you no, this inner strength whispers, yes, you can, when everything inside you is screaming to give up. Inner strength is the quiet but fierce voice that says, keep going. But how do you tap into that power? It starts with knowing who you are, not just knowing your name, your job, or your role, but truly understanding the strength that lies inside you. You are more than your past, more than your mistakes, more than the circumstances that have tried to hold you back. You are more than your fears. You are capable of far more than you even realize. And that belief, that unshakable conviction that you are meant for something greater is what fuels your inner strength. When you believe in yourself, when you believe in the purpose you were created for, you begin to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. You begin to understand that every struggle, every setback, every painful moment is an invitation to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. Your strength also comes from the deep well of love you have for yourself, even when it feels hard. It's the love that says, I will not quit on me. It's the love that pushes you to take care of your mind, body, and soul, to choose what's best for you, even when it's difficult. It's the love that says, I am worthy of my dreams and I will fight for them. Another powerful source of inner strength is faith. Faith in something bigger than yourself, whether that's in God, the universe, or in the idea that there's a purpose to all of it. Faith allows you to trust that even when things don't make sense, there is a plan at work. It's that quiet knowing that you are not alone, and no matter how hard it gets, you are being guided, protected, and equipped for what lies ahead. Inner strength also comes from resilience, the ability to bounce back after a fall, the courage to rise after being knocked down. It's not about never feeling pain. It's about learning to rise no matter how many times you fall. It's about the willingness to keep going, to get back up, dust yourself off, and take the next step forward. The source of inner strength is not always loud, it's not always always obvious, but it's always there, waiting for you to tap into it, to remember it, to call on it when you need it the most. And when you do, there's nothing that can stop you. Because when you believe in the power that lies within you, when you recognize your worth and your ability to rise, you can face anything. Nothing, no challenge, no setback, no circumstance will be able to break you. You will rise above it all, not because you're immune to difficulty, but because you have the power to rise again and again and again and again. Fear and doubt, these two often show up uninvited, don't they? They have a way of creeping into our minds, sneaking into our hearts, and convincing us that we're not enough, that we don't have what it takes, or that we're destined to fail. They make us question our worth, our dreams, and the very path we're walking. In the silence of the night, when everything is still, fear whispers that we are not strong enough, not worthy enough, or that the mountain before us is simply too high to climb. But here's something I want you to understand. Fear and doubt are not your enemies. They are not signs of weakness. In fact, they are often indicators that you are on the verge of something great. The reason you feel fear is because you are standing on the edge of something that challenges you, something that demands you grow. Fear only shows up when you are pushing the limits of what you know, when you are stepping out of your comfort zone, when you are about to reach a level of success you've never known before. So don't run from it. Don't allow it to paralyze you. Instead, let it be the signal that you are right where you need to be. Doubt is much the same. It's that voice inside your head telling you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, or that you're too small to make a difference. But here's the reality: doubt doesn't come because you are incapable. It comes because you are on the edge of greatness, standing at the threshold of something extraordinary. Doubt is the resistance you feel when you are being called to rise higher, to reach further, to push beyond what you thought was possible. And while it might try to hold you back, it is in fact the very thing that challenges you to dig deeper and find a strength you never knew you had. Fear and doubt will always be a part of your journey, but they do not have to control your destiny. What you do with them is what matters most. You have the power to transform fear into courage, to turn doubt into determination. You have the ability to stand face to face with those emotions and tell them that they do not define you. They are not a reflection of your true potential. They are simply a part of the human experience, a part of what it means to dream big, to reach for something greater than yourself, and to step into the unknown. Every time fear whispers you can't let your inner strength reply with "watch me," every time doubt tells you that you're not enough, choose to remind yourself that you are more than enough, more than capable, and more than worthy of your dreams. Because fear and doubt don't diminish your power, they reveal your potential. They test your resolve, but they also give you the opportunity to rise above, to prove to yourself just how strong and resilient you are. When you believe in yourself, something extraordinary happens, not just to you, but to everyone around you. Your belief in yourself doesn't just transform your own life, it has the power to light up the lives of others. It's like a ripple effect. When you show up with confidence, when you walk in your truth, when you stand tall in the face of challenges, you create a space for others to do the same. You give them permission to believe in themselves too. Think about the people in your life who have made an impact on you. More often than not, it wasn't because they had all the answers or the perfect circumstances. It was because they carried themselves with a sense of purpose, with a quiet confidence that inspired you. They showed you what was possible simply by being unapologetically themselves. And when you saw them stand strong in their own belief, it sparked something inside of you. It gave you the courage to believe that maybe, just maybe, you could do it too. Your self-belief doesn't exist in a vacuum. It doesn't just affect you, it lifts the people around you. When you make the choice to believe in your worth, in your power, and in your purpose, you open doors for others to walk through. You show them that it's not only okay to dream, but that it's necessary. You inspire them to aim higher, to stretch further, to step outside of their own fears and doubts. The way you live your life, the way you handle the tough moments, the way you keep going when it would be easier to quit, these are the things that leave an imprint on others. Your belief in yourself is contagious. It's the light that shines so brightly that others can't help but be drawn to it. And when others see you believing in yourself, they begin to believe in you too. They start to believe in your vision, in your dreams, in your ability to make things happen. But more than that, they start to believe in themselves. They begin to see that if you can rise above your struggle, so can they. If you can stand strong in your purpose, they can too. Your self-belief becomes a beacon for those who might feel lost, a guiding force that helps them find their way. And there's something incredibly powerful about leading by example. When you walk with conviction, when you trust yourself, even when the world doubts you, you show others that their journey is worth believing in too. You remind them that their dreams are not too big, that their worth is not up for debate, that they too are capable of amazing things. There's a ripple effect in your belief, a transformation that spreads far beyond you. You are a reflection of the people who've believed in themselves before you, and when you stand strong, you become a reflection for someone else. You may never know the full extent of your impact, the number of lives you've touched just by walking in your own power, but that doesn't make it any less significant. Your belief in yourself sends a message to the world that anything is possible. And in doing so, you inspire a wave of self-belief that has the potential to change everything. Because when one person believes in themselves, it has the power to shift the entire world. And that's the power you carry. You are not just believing for yourself, you are believing for others too. And that kind of energy, that kind of belief, it has the power to change lives. There are moments in life when adversity feels overwhelming, when the weight of the world is pressing down on you, when the storms seem too fierce to weather. But let me tell you something powerful. Within you lies the ability to rise, to overcome, and to emerge stronger than you were before. It's not the challenges themselves that define us, but how we choose to respond to them. How we choose to stand in the face of difficulty, to continue moving forward, even when every step feels like a battle. That's where grit and grace come in. Grit is that fierce determination to keep going, even when it feels like the road ahead is endless and the odds are stacked against you. It's the unwavering resolve to press on despite the pain, the frustration, and the setbacks. Grit doesn't accept defeat. It doesn't bow down to obstacles. It stands tall in the face of adversity. It says, I will not be moved. But here's the secret: grit isn't about force or fighting with fists. It's about strength of character. It's about a resilience that comes from deep within. It's the inner knowing that no matter how many times you fall, you will always rise. You will always find the courage to take one more step. But grit alone doesn't make the journey beautiful. It's grace that transforms the struggle into something more. Grace is the gentleness with which you carry yourself when everything around you is falling apart. It's the ability to stay kind even when you're exhausted. It's the strength to show compassion for yourself when you're tempted to criticize, and the courage to remain hopeful when everything looks dark. Grace is not about perfection, but about moving through your pain with dignity. It's the ability to smile, to keep going, and to choose joy even when the world tells you doubt. When you face adversity, remember this: you are not defined by the challenges you encounter, but by how you rise in the face of them. Grit and grace are your tools, your armor, and your light. With grit, you will never stop pushing forward, and with grace, you will never lose sight of the beauty within you, even in the toughest times. The road ahead may be long and the obstacles may seem impossible, but I promise you, if you hold onto your belief, tap into your inner strength, and walk with both grit and grace, you will overcome. You are not just surviving, you are thriving, growing, and becoming the powerful force you were always meant to be. Keep going, keep believing, and never forget the strength that lies within you. The world is waiting for you to rise.